Hello there friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Joanne and today I'll be taking you through this simple tutorial. It's a sweater that I worked from the top part going downwards, and I worked the neckline ribbing using the front post here. The front post and the back post are double crochet. Yeah, I basically used 5 balls of this type of yarn, and I used a 5mm hook, but for the ribbings I used a 3.5mm hook. I really hope that you'll enjoy it, guys. Kindly subscribe to my channel, and if you like this tutorial, give it a thumbs up. Whatever I'll need is here, guys: a butterfly chunky 4-ply yarn, a pair of scissors, a 5mm hook, a tape measure, and a tapestry needle. So to start off, I'm going to start with I'm going to start with a chain of 80. You're going to chain 80. We'll then join the work together. So you'll insert your crochet hook into the very first chain and then work a slip stitch. You'll chain 3. This will count as a double crochet, and then we will work 23 double crochets. So plus this, we'll have 24. And then into the 24th, I've already worked one double crochet. I'll chain 1 and work another double crochet into the same stitch, and then into the next 17 stitches I'm going to work half double crochets. With these included, we will have 18 double crochets. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You will then chain 1 and work another double crochet into the same stitch. This is one of the sleeve, guys. The one we worked 24 double crochets is the back side. This is one of the sleeves, so we are now working the front part. So into the next 23 stitches we are going to work we are going to work double crochets. So the same way I've done this part, I'm going to work double crochets into the next 23 chains. I'll chain one and then work another double crochet into the same 24th double crochet, and then for the remaining chains we will work double crochets. This is the other part of the sleeve. It should give us 18 double crochets in total. When you count from this point until this point here, we should have 18 double crochets. And now I'm at the point where I'm supposed to join my work. When I count from this point here, I have 17 double crochets, less of one. So to work our last one, we are going to work it at this point here where we chained 3. So I'll work my last double crochet at this point here. Sorry, it's a little bit tight here. I'll work my last double crochet at this point here, like that, and then I'll chain one and work a slip stitch into the third chain in the chain 3 we started with. So I'll work a slip stitch here. Now to start off our second row, guys, I'm going to chain 3 and then I'll work double crochets into every chain across until I get to the corner. By corner I mean the point we worked a double crochet, one chain and a double crochet all into one stitch, or chain rather. Sorry. Remember, this is the back part of the sweater that I'm working on. I'm almost getting to the corner. I'm working my last stitch before I get to the corner. Now, at this point where we have our one double crochet, chain one, and another double crochet in the same chain, I'll work one double crochet there. I'll then chain one, work another double crochet here, and then we have this stitch here just before we leave that point. We work one double crochet there, and then continue with our work of working double crochets in every stitch. So I'll work my double crochets, and once I get to this point here, we'll work the same way we worked our point here. One double crochet, one chain, one double crochet, and then we start a double crochet in the same stitch that is within that point there, and then I'll take you through some little detail that I added here, and then we'll continue. So I'm almost finishing this part here. This is one of the sleeves. Now I'm working my last double crochet. I'll work one into this point here, chain one, work another double crochet, and then work the first double crochet here. So guys, I'm going to work on the first seven double crochets from the previous row. So it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. I'm going to work on these. So I'm going to work on the first 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, yeah. And then into the 8th double crochet from the previous row. This is, I'm talking of the front parts, yeah. I'm going to work a front post double crochet here, another front post double crochet into the 9th double crochet from the previous part, and then I'll work double crochets into the next 2 stitches, work another front post into the next double crochet from the previous row, another one, work 2 double crochets, regular ones, yeah, and then work another 2 double crochets, I mean front post double crochets, like that. And then after working these, we should be remaining with 7 double crochets from the previous row before we get to the corner. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. So we will work regular double crochets into each of those stitches. Sorry. Seven. So I'm now going to work my point the normal way I've been doing the rest. I'll work a double crochet, 1 chain, another double crochet, and then I'll start off my other double crochet within the same point, and then into these remaining few stitches here I'll work my double crochets, and then I'll show you what to do here. Now my last double crochet, I'll work into this space here, and then I'll chain 1 and work a slip stitch into the 3rd chain in the first 3 chains we started with there. So I'll slip stitch into the 3rd one, And then from this point henceforth, guys, it's a repeat. We'll chain 3, and then we'll work double crochets into every stitch across. We'll do the same. Once we get to this point here, we will work 1 double crochet, 1 chain, 1 double crochet, all into the same point, and then we'll keep working the same. Now I'll get back to you so that I'll show you what I'll do for the part that I worked the front post double crochets. I'm currently at the front part of the sweater. Now for this part where we worked a front post double crochet, each time we get to this point we will be working a front post double crochet. So for each point we have a front post double crochet, we work another front post double crochet there, and then we work 2 regular double crochets into the next 2 stitches, work 2 front post double crochets, and then 2 regular double crochets into the next 2 front post double crochets, like that. Sorry, the color can't quite show the detail well, but we have some columns here, and then we'll work regular double crochets into the remaining stitches until we get to the corner. And so I'll basically be doing the same. From this row henceforth we will be working a repeat of row 2 until we get to the point where we will be working our, it should be like this, yeah, until we get to the point where we will be isolating our sleeves and then work on the main body. So each time you get to this point here, you'll work the last double crochet here, and then chain 1 and slip stitch into the 3rd chain before you begin the next row. I have worked around 10 rows of this work here, and this should already tell you that this part is going to be, this part and this part will be the part we'll be working our sleeves, and this part is the front part, this part will be the back part. So I've already joined my work here, like the 10th row. I'm going to chain 3 like usual, and then I'll work the regular double crochets for this back part, yeah. I'm going to show you how I'll isolate the sleeves. Don't mind these ends, guys. I'll weave them in once I'm done with this part here. Sorry. Now I'm almost working on my point, like I'm working the last stitch now. Into this point here, guys, I'm going to work 2 double crochets. I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then as you can see, this part is the back part, so I'm going to leave out the part that is going to be the sleeves. This part here, like normally I would work continuously, but this time I'm going to stop at this point here, work 2 double crochets there, chain 3, and then into this other point in this other side here, I'm going to work a double crochet there, work another one, sorry, and then turn my work like this, like I'm leaving out the sleeves literally. These are my sleeves, yeah, I'm leaving them out, and then I'm just sorry, I'm not working that way. Once I have the three chains, I'll turn my work like this and just work double crochets directly into, I'll work double crochets into this point directly, not from the back side, 2 of them, and then work the regular double crochets. So we've already left out the sleeves in this side. We are going to work regular double crochets, but remember, each time we get to this point, we will keep working our front post double crochets. Once we get to this point here, I'll show you what to do next. I'm at the point of this front part, guys, and as you can see, I'm going to work 2 double crochets there, and then I'll chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll now leave out these other sleeves. Yeah, remember we left out the ones for this side here. We'll now leave out this side of the sleeves, and then I'll work a double crochet into this point here, 1 double crochet like this, and then I'll now turn my work like that and work the other one into that same point to make them 2. And then the normal way we've been finishing our row, I'll slip stitch into the 3rd chain of the first chain 3 we started with, like that. From this point, it should now be easy. We've already isolated our sleeves, so to start off each row, we'll be chaining 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll be working double crochets round and round and round. So for this part, we'll work double crochets. Once we get to this point, we'll just continue into the chain 3, we work 3 double crochets. We go round into the chain 3, we work 3 double crochets. Into this, the first 3, we slip stitch into the 3rd chain, and we basically continue working our double crochets until you achieve your required length, like until you reached the waistline, the point you feel is the right measurement for you. I've made a lot of progress here, guys. I've already worked the entire body, and I've already added this waistline ribbing, and then I've also worked another sleeve and worked the ribbing too. So I'm here to show you how I worked this sleeve and definitely the ribbing here. So I'll make a slip knot like that, and then into this point here, like the chain 3 space we used when we were isolating our sleeves, into 1, 2, 3, I'll into this middle part here, into this middle part here, I'll pull my slip knot from here, and then I'll chain 3, 1, 2, 3, like that, and then into this space and this space here, I'll work 2 double crochets, but I'll decrease them. So I'll work one, I'll not work it into completion, and then I'll yarn over again and work into the next point like that, and then I'll yarn over and pull through all of them. That's a decrease. And then from that point we now have our regular stitches here. As you can see, I'll now work into them. I'll now work regular double crochets into each stitch. I'm at the end of the first row, guys. I'm going to work a double crochet here, work it halfway, and then I'll work the last one here, do the same, and then I'll yarn over and pull through. And after this, guys, I'm going to work a slip stitch into the third chain like that. Yeah, so guys, it's easy. From this point on we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll basically work double crochets into every stitch across without any decrease. So we'll basically do that, and now guys, we'll literally work from this first point of decrease. We are going to work 7 more rows, this included, and then like when we count from this point here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, we are going to work regular double crochets, but once we are at the 19th row we'll work another decrease the same way I did here. The first 2 stitches will decrease that, and then the last 2 we are going to work a decrease. And then once you decrease at the 19th row, you are going to work 3 regular rows, work the last row of decrease, and then you will have achieved your required size. That's according to me, yeah. And as you can see, we already have our nice sleeve here. So I'm going to work on my sleeve here. I'll get back to you so that I'll show you how I worked my ribbing here. But remember guys, this is according to my measurements. You can always adjust this project to fit your own specifications. I've finished working the sleeve, guys, as you can see, and I'm now going to take you through how I worked this ribbing here. So to start off, I'm going to chain 10, and then I'm going to work a single crochet into each chain downwards. And for this first this chain here, I'll be working on the bumps, these ones here. So I'll be using these single crochet ribbing, like I'll be working single crochets into the back loop only. But for this starting chain, I'll just work my single crochets at the back bump downwards. I'm almost finishing this first row of single crochets. I'm working the last one like that. So I have my 10 single crochets here. Now I'm now going to slip stitch into 3 stitches at this point. So I'll slip stitch into the first one like that, into the second like that, and into the third that way. I'm now going to turn my work like this because I'm going to make my way back upwards. So remember, I've slip stitched into 3 stitches. That means I'm going to skip the first 3 stitches here, this one, and this one, because these are the ones that I slip stitched. So I'm going to skip the 3 and work into the 4th. So 1 2 3 into the 4th. I'm going to work a single crochet, and remember, I've worked into the back loop, and then I'll basically make my way up working single crochets into the back loop only. Now into the last stitch, guys, I'll work into both the loops. So I'll work single crochets into both loops. Wait. Like that, I'll make my single crochet here. I'll then chain 1, turn my work. Into this same first stitch, I'll make a single crochet into both the loops like that, and then I'll now work single crochets into the back loop only. So I'll basically be working single crochets like that downwards. And remember, we started with 10 chains. This should mean that we should always end up with the same number of stitches, that is 10. I've made my way back, and as you can see, we already have a ridge forming here. So I'm going to slip stitch into the next 3 stitches. So I'll slip stitch into the first 1, 2, and 3 like that. I've worked 3 slip stitches into the bottom line, and then I'll turn my work like this, and then the same way I did from in the other part, I'll skip the first 3 stitches because those are the slip stitches that I worked. So 1 2 3 into the 4th, I'll work a single crochet into the back loop only, and do that until the end of this part here. So I'll make my way up working single crochets but into the back loop only. Now into the last one, I'll work a single crochet into both of them, chain 1, turn my work single crochet again into both loops for the first part, and then I'll work downwards into the back loop only, like that one. I'm making my last one like that, and just like that I have my ribbing beginning to form. So we'll be slip stitching into 3 stitches here. Once we have done that, we'll be turning our work, skipping the first 3 and working a single crochet into the back loop of the fourth stitch, and working your way back and forth. So you'll basically do that until you get to this point where you'll clip off from the main yarn, and then you'll join the 2 parts together using a tapestry needle. Remember guys, the same way I'm doing this ribbing here is the same way I worked this ribbing here, and it's the same way that I worked my waistline ribbing. I've finished working my ribbing guys, and I'm at the final point, so I'm going to take my pair of scissors and then I'll clip off like that. So I'll basically pull this, and then I'll take this piece of yarn, insert through this point here, and I'll basically join my work here. So remember guys, the number of stitches in this side is the same number of stitches in this other side, so it should be easy joining the work. You'll basically work into this point here while going to this other point here, like that, and then I'll work through this point, insert my yarn,